Well, I love this idea already. You're talking about learning and growing together. So were you always a leader? Were you born a natural leader, Andy?
Great question. No one's born, babies are born, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not really a born natural leader. I would say I'm a reluctant leader. So given the opportunity, I'll always step up and lead, and I love that. So leadership is a skill, and so everybody can learn that skill, but it takes intentionality and work. And so, I think anybody can be a leader, and I think we are all leader because leadership is about influence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we all influence people every day, right? Which makes us a leader. So I think we can.
Yep.
But it takes work.
Yeah, I've often talked about the curse of competence in that a lot of people find themselves in leadership roles because they're really good at what they do. And the transition from being the guy who's good at doing the thing to leading the people who do the thing can be a big stumbling block.
It is. And I find that in business, that's how most people get their promotion, right, to manager. They're good at their job, and then they're left on their own. In fact, that happened to me when I was in the corporate world, got a promotion, and now I'm looking after a team. And then my boss left me alone. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And you fumble your way through. And so part of my passion is helping people bridge that gap from manager to leader. And so, because it's really challenging, right? They're really good. And most often people, they just want to do what they're good at.
Yeah.
Right? Because leadership is a totally different skill.
And learning to take your hands off as well is a massive challenge because you know how well you can do it. And I've learned that two of the most dangerous words are for now, because you'll jump. I'll just show them for now. I'll do it for them for now, for just for this time, and then suddenly you can maybe get away with that when you got 1 or 2 team members, but suddenly you got 5, you got 10, you got 20, and that's where your old ways of doing things can kind of catch up on you.
Yep, it's exhausting, right? And it's like the old saying, if you want it done right, do it yourself. But as a leader, if you can delegate, and this is probably the biggest problem leaders have, is they don't delegate enough.
Yeah.
Right? Because they want to hold on to have this control. And so when we let control go and empower our team to do some of the stuff that we do, then it actually frees you up to lead properly.
But you don't understand, Andy. When I did this, somebody then did it wrong. You don't understand. I tried to delegate and then it didn't work because they got it wrong. Yeah. Sure, you've heard that a million times.
I have. And the challenge here is that what we're not prepared to do as leaders is put in the work in the short term to gain the payoff at the end, right? So yes, it takes time to train them, and yes, they don't get it right. If they get it 80% right, that's probably good enough, right?
Yeah.
And so if we spend the time and the effort at the beginning, the payoff long term is way, way better. Whereas if we hold on to this control, do it ourselves, we just get burnt out as a leader. It's exhausting, right?
Yeah. I've heard the phrase once, it stuck in my mind, don't abdicate, delegate. And I think my approach to delegation used to be, okay, that's your job now. And then I'm just gone. Yeah. And then you come back a week, 3 months, 6 months, however long it was on that project later, and it hasn't gone the way that you wanted it to. And you take from that, oh, well, then delegation doesn't work. So what's an element that we can incorporate into our lives to make us delegate a bit more effectively?
So I think some of the things we can delegate is tasks that somebody else can do for a start, the easy ones, right? If someone else can do it as a leader in your team, then give it to them. Don't delegate things to people that don't have the skill set either. And often we delegate to people that don't necessarily have the skill set to be able to do that task.
Yeah.
And so that's a challenge. And then you wonder why the project's not working. It's like, oh, actually, they don't have the skill set. So either spend time training them and helping them gain those skills, or give it to someone else who has. So delegation is, I think we've got to be selective in how we do that properly.
And as I'm listening to you too, it reminds me, it can be very easy as a leader to see the problem as other people. I'm trying to get a thing done, but it's other people who are in my way. Part of the challenge I have learned is realizing the ways in which my thoughts, my belief, particularly about myself, get in the way of me being a good leader. Have you experienced that before?
I get in the way all the time. Right? You know?
Yeah.
And I think ego is a big problem we have, right? When we let our ego get in the way, it stops us from leading people well because we want to look good. We want to, be the guy. We've got the title. And so I think if we can let our ego go and be about, leadership's about serving others. And so when we can serve our team, when we can empower them to do the job the best that they can, that will naturally make us look good, right? We don't have to try. And so if we can let our ego and just focus on people, we will have a much more productive team. Culture will be better. People will enjoy coming to work.
Yeah. Or even coming to our churches, right? Because on a faith perspective too, sometimes it can get in the way, and it's a shame. But I know when you are doing things in a business context versus I'm doing these things for God, it can add an extra layer of complexity. But that idea of servant leadership is a biblical principle anyway, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And I think for me, God has, that's the reason why I do what I do, is I want to serve other people. And my faith has allowed me to be passionate about that. Yeah. And so, if we're God-centered, then it makes it a lot easier.
And it resolves some of those internal things we talked about as well, right? Like some of that ego stuff. Maybe we're out there trying to prove people were wrong about us, or I can do it, or maybe it's just a little shrine to our own achievement. Hopefully, our faith gives us a better foundation to build our businesses and our churches on.
Absolutely. I think faith is important because faith is about, when we're out in the workplace, we're talking this morning actually about character, right? And when we have good character, good values, then things will go a lot better. We're consistent and people will know what we're about and they will respect us, and we have a much more influence.
One of my favorite things is speaking to Christian business people who've done well in their marketplace for a number of years, because I do feel like living according to the gospel presents maybe some unique challenges too that I really commend Christian business people for holding up. Even this idea of having integrity at all times and knowing that there are people out there who don't necessarily play by the same rules, but we play by a divinely mandated set of rules. If you're able to do that successfully, I think, hats off. We really need to celebrate our business people more, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think business is a huge part of being a Christian. That's my space. So churches, why I go to church, my ministry is my business and the marketplace, right? And we don't have to be a pastor to do that. Yeah. And so having integrity, having those things in the marketplace, and being non-negotiable, right? This is who I am, this is my faith, and I will not waver, and being totally committed to that, our businesses will prosper and God will honor that. Yeah.
So let's talk about this event again one more time. So this is Live to Lead, and if you want to head along, it's livetolead.nz. What kind of things are you going to be covering, and what kind of person should head along to this? Do I have to be a business owner or maybe a church senior pastor, or what?
No, but if you are, come along, and it's for anyone that's really into personal growth or loves leadership, and it's a great day to fill your cup, because we can't give what we don't have. And so there's a chance to get out of the office. If you're looking at getting into leadership or you love personal growth, this is a great event. We've got some great speakers we're streaming in from the States. John Maxwell, who some of your listeners might know, Craig Groeschel, is going to be there as well, and a couple of other people. Jesse Cole, who has just created this movement in the States and changing baseball. It's called Banana Ball. And so YouTube, is just such an interesting guy. He wears a yellow tux and such a fascinating guy, just talking about how the fans are his most important person
That's so cool.
in the game. So we've got some great speakers, and we've got a live panel as well, which we're really looking forward to. Local leaders, business leaders, your own Luke Weston from Rhema is going to be on panel.
Our CEO is going to be there,
CEO. So these are CEOs in the industry, local, that are sharing their insights into how they lead in New Zealand.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us as part of the Rhema whānau. We really appreciate your company, and if you'd like to check out more stories like that one, just click here.
In fact, our channel has a whole bunch just like this, stories that can encourage you and inspire you and make you more aware of what other people's lives are like in Aotearoa and around the world. So maybe you could subscribe right here.